Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. If you are new, my name is Kelsey. I am a wife and a mom of 3 kids, ages 6, 4, and 2, and my husband and I are expecting baby number 4 due in November. So I'm currently at the beginning of my 29th week of pregnancy, but this video is going to be all about week 28. This week I've had some similar symptoms to those that I've already been experiencing. I've still had heartburn. Like I said in all my other videos, I'm pretty sure it's here to stay now. I did order the papaya enzymes finally, so I have those, but I have not started taking them yet. So I will let you know probably next week how those are working out for me. I'm really hoping that they will give me some relief and help me be able to sleep at night a little better, despite the heartburn. In terms of aversions and cravings, not really anything new. Still having fluctuating food aversions, and this week was pretty calm in terms of cravings. Not really anything specific that I found myself wanting more than usual. I did have one really horrible migraine this week that was very reminiscent of progesterone headaches, so I'm not sure if it was related to pregnancy hormones or something completely different, but sometimes when I get really bad migraines, I get auras beforehand where my vision gets really blurry, and I had that, and then within probably a half hour of that resolving, I got a migraine just as I anticipated, and it was kind of a doozy. Fortunately, I drank a Coke and took 1 extra strength Tylenol and just tried to chill out for like an hour to let all that kick in, and that did seem to help quite a bit. Although after that I just felt kind of yucky for the rest of the night, but luckily no more since then, and I'm hoping it was just kind of an isolated incident. I don't know, I just feel like this week has been a little odd with symptoms. Like, I've definitely had some new things, and I'm not sure how much of them are pregnancy related or how many of them are just isolated incidents, but I have been absolutely exhausted this week. I feel like I could just sleep for probably a week straight and hibernate. I think this is due to the fact that I have worked a ton more than normal the past 2 weeks. I think I kind of mentioned it in my last video, but yeah, I have been picking up a ton of extra shifts at work, just trying to help out my coworkers who are working really short here lately, and also trying to save up some money for maternity leave. So that has been exhausting for me. So I'm guessing that it's more related to that than pregnancy. Probably honestly a combination of both. But yeah, yesterday we took our kids to an amusement park, and I felt like the whole time I was walking around I had weights strapped on my legs or something because I was just so exhausted. Normally I love taking my kids to amusement parks, and like I'm excited and running around with them and, you know, in on all the action with them, and yesterday it was all I could do to just stay upright. I was kind of counting down the minutes in my head till we could go home and I could go to bed, which I hate because I wanted so badly to be present in that moment, but I was just so tired that it was really a struggle. But we did have a good time, and I'm glad that we went. But yeah, the exhaustion is just killing me. I also did have a day where I had some GI issues, mostly like really bad nausea, and I thought for sure I was getting sick, but I'm wondering if it was just maybe a pregnancy fluke because nothing ever came of it. Maybe it was also something that I ate. My coworkers and I did order out food that evening at work, and I ordered some wings, so I'm not sure if those were the culprit or what, but I felt like shaky and my stomach was just so nauseous. I thought for sure I was gonna be vomiting, but luckily I made it through the night at work and got home, ended up going to sleep for the day, and when I woke up I felt so much better. So I don't know if it was some kind of GI bug, the food I ate, pregnancy related, or what, but it was pretty unpleasant. And related to that as well, I just want to say to all you moms that go through really horrible morning sickness, I don't know how you function. Huge props to you. I've been fortunate to never really experience morning sickness with any of my pregnancies, at least not to any large extent. And yeah, just that one evening of nausea at work Like, I felt like I could hardly function. I have been having some dizzy spells this week. They're very random and sporadic. They come just very fleetingly. I would say on average it's happening like once or twice a day. Some days I haven't had any, but it hits me out of nowhere like a ton of bricks. I'll just be walking around, going about my day, doing whatever, and all of a sudden I will just feel super dizzy, kind of like the room is spinning, and have to just slow down and take a couple deep breaths. Luckily, they usually pass within a minute or two, so it's not anything that's like debilitating, but it's enough to like freak me out when they do start happening because it just comes on so suddenly out of nowhere. Yeah, that has been interesting, but ironically, I do remember having similar things in my previous pregnancies in the 3rd trimester, because I think actually in 1 or 2 of my pregnancies, I had mentioned it to my doctor in the 3rd trimester because it was kind of alarming to me. So this time I'm just chalking it up to hormonal changes and everything that's going on with my body as I come to the end of my pregnancy and my body is preparing for labor. So I'm not too worried about it. I might mention it to my doctor this week just so that it's on his radar, but overall, I don't think it's anything abnormal or anything to worry about. Obviously, if it increases in frequency or something like that, I'll definitely let him know and see if anything needs to be done. But for now, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it. The only other symptom that I wanted to mention is that I was having contractions one evening last week. I am pretty positive that it was just from working myself too hard, picking up extra shifts at work and not giving my body enough time to rest. I'm not super concerned about it now looking back because it's probably been almost a week since it happened and I haven't had any other episodes of contractions. But one night at work, I work 12-hour shifts, so probably about halfway through my shift, I started having contractions. I was in a patient's room helping a coworker, and so I couldn't really just sit down because we're in the middle of doing stuff, and I started feeling contractions. At first, they were actually in my back, which was kind of odd. So I thought it was just back pain, but then I realized that they were coming in waves. So it would like get stronger and then it would go away for a couple of minutes and then I would feel it again and it would get worse and then it would go away for a couple of minutes. And I don't think they were super consistent. I didn't actually time them because, like I said, I was in the middle of doing things at work and didn't really have time or concentration to devote to timing them. But yeah, it lasted for probably an hour or so. And then when we were finished doing what we were doing, I went and sat down for a little bit. And they did dissipate to some degree, but throughout the entire rest of my shift, I was having them like sporadically. Not with the same amount of frequency, but just like here and there, I would feel it. And it was starting to worry me. Had it continued when I got off work, I probably would have let my doctor know and asked him if I needed to go to labor and delivery or come in to get checked. But as soon as I got home, I took a shower and laid down, put my feet up, and went to sleep. And when I woke up, I didn't have any more contractions and I haven't had any since. So I think that might have just been my body's way of telling me that I was overdoing it and trying to get me to slow down a little bit. I'm also going to start trying to think a lot about how I'm going to prepare my body for labor. I got red raspberry leaf tea probably a month ago and my plan was to start drinking it at that time. I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical. I am not a hot drinker. I don't like coffee. I don't like hot or cold coffee, to be honest. I just can't get into the taste of it. I am not a huge tea person. I will drink iced tea sometimes, but it's still not my favorite. And I don't like even really hot chocolate very much, except for maybe like 1 cup a year around Christmas time. I just can't get into drinking hot things. So I'm kind of nervous about the taste of the red raspberry leaf tea. In my previous pregnancy, I did take the red raspberry leaf capsules. However, I know there's not any like definitive guidance, and different places that you look will tell you different things, but it seems like you're not really supposed to start taking the capsules until later on in your pregnancy because they're a lot more potent than the tea. So I really want to start drinking the tea now just to start getting my uterus prepped for labor. However, I have been just eyeing it on the counter and haven't gotten myself to actually taste it yet, which is stupid. I should at least just taste it and see how it is. That is definitely on my agenda this week, as well as just kind of coming up with a little bit more specific of a plan of things that I'm going to try to do proactively to prepare my body for labor in the coming months. It's crazy to believe that I only have about a little over 2 months left until my due date, so I really need to kick it into gear, get things around the house ready, and get my body prepped so that we can welcome this little baby into the world. Also, one other thing I want to mention is that we are struggling to come up with a name for this baby. It's difficult because since we don't know the gender, we have to come up with a boy name and a girl name. I think we might have a boy name picked out. I can't decide if I'm 100% set on it yet. I actually picked this name out when I was pregnant with my daughter Hattie, so if she had been a boy, I think it would be her name, and I do really love it. However, recently, somebody that I know, just an acquaintance, not a good friend of mine at this point in life, but she named her son this name like a month ago, and that just kind of, I don't know, took away the charm for me a little bit, which it's not even like I see her on a regular basis, or, you know, we don't really have like a network of friends and acquaintances that are similar anymore at this point in life. So I know it's not a big deal, but that just kind of soured me to it a little. So we'll see. But we do have that name picked out, and a girl name we are totally stumped on. Haven't really been able to come up with anything that we both love, or really anything that either one of us loves on our own. There's so many pretty girl names, so many. There are so many names that I love and think are pretty, but I just can't imagine my baby being named that. So we're working on it. If you have any suggestions, please let me know, because like I said, we're struggling, and the closer that I get to delivery, I feel like the more stressed I get by not having a name. I'm way too much of a planner to be the type that just waits to see the baby and then thinks like, oh, I'll just know their name automatically. Like, I need to have at least a short list of names to pick from when I see them, or else my anxiety will be through the roof. So that's also on our agenda of things to figure out soon. I think that's all that I have for today. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you are interested in following along on the rest of my pregnancy and motherhood journey, please subscribe. Please leave a comment down below introducing yourself if you're new here, or if you're not new, just saying hi and letting me know how things are going for you. Again, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.